I need to do the magic in YouTube so we can go live. Just a few seconds. Yes, let me set up. Let me set up. And we're going to go live here, checking. Yes. Yes, everything is okay. Let me close this ticket. And the last check is if everything is going correct through X. Let me check if everything is going correct with the sound. Excellent, yes. Let me close this so we don't use resources. Hello, this is the Bitcoin Libertarian, and here I am again with Gemmy, Gem Crypto. How are you doing, Gemmy?
Doing great. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for having me, for being with us today. We are going to discuss a couple of things. Price of Bitcoin drop. So do you still think you still keep your what you said last week, that we are in a bear market and we are not this is not something that is like not momentary, or not something that probably triggered by other forces?
I think for my TA, I think now it's just follow price, and as I mentioned, like I think we are still in a technical bear market, and I think it's still going to be the same case for Q3 2026 this year. So there'll be more room for correction, possibly down to like 60 something K for this bear cycle. But like it's not a free fall down to 60 something K. It's going to be something gradual. And it looks like we have been consolidating for weeks right now before we heading for the next leg down in the bear market, because right now I still think it's a consolidation period. So we are only in stage 2 before entering stage 3, like being going more down in this bear cycle.
No, I think that what happened this week, and I was checking, I think that was something related with Trump. And let me show the presentation I have, because this is interesting. Let me share the screen. 1 second, this. Okay. Let's see if you see it? Yes, excellent. So I think what happened today is, or what happened in the last days, is all these tensions. I think that we are not in a bad market. We are just consolidating in the bottom of the bear market that was triggered last year. Because as we saw last week, in gold terms, Bitcoin is 50% down. So I think it's not room for any other down. And I think what happened in this year is, or in these days, is the problem that we are having between Donald Trump and Greenland. I don't know if you heard that he sent a letter to the Prime Minister of Norway, and as he said, okay, as I don't have any, I wasn't granted with the Nobel Prize of Peace, I will attack Greenland, and I don't give a crap about NATO and all the things. So I think that this is what is happening now, because the United States wants Greenland because of rare earth minerals and strategic Arctic dominance that we have. I think we all know that rare earth minerals are basic for AI, and United States don't have and want to find them because China is developing a lot of rare earth minerals. Of course, why they have to have Greenland, because they need to secure resources for EVs and military hardware, and also all this thing with the Nobel Prize that he didn't get, and all the things. So what he did is he said that he was going to raise tariff if they don't give him something related to Greenland. And all the things shaking the board. So the geopolitical tension comes with this risk of sentiment. So the capital, and we saw today a spike on the gold price and on the silver price, the capital usually goes when are these problems from risk on assets to gold and bonds and silver. And of course, there are outflows from crypto and equities. I was checking today the pre-market on the United States Stock Exchange. That was yesterday was holiday, and all the market was down. It was not a problem with Bitcoin. So that's why I went to see and check what was happening with Greenland. And I think that the problem on the price of these days is based on this. So Bitcoin crashed around 4,000 in a few minutes, in 2 hours, a couple of days ago, because we were consolidating around 95K, and then we went to 92 something. And of course, it triggered a lot of leverage liquidation, because I don't know if you saw that in a couple of weeks ago, the sentiment of the market recovered from extreme fear to neutral. So I think that during this situation, many traders start using leverage, thinking that, okay, now we are going to go much higher, and these people were liquidated. So I think that that is the problem. Like, people see, again, tensions of Donald Trump, the same that happened during all the last year, and the markets moved. Bitcoin drops and gold goes all-time high. And the fundamentals, ignore the panic. The exchange balance are falling. There are much more holders in Bitcoin. The ETF in the last weeks saw huge inflows. Strategy is buying a lot of Bitcoin in the past days. In fact, today, Saylor is going to announce a huge amount of Bitcoin bought. So I think that now it comes down the Davos meeting, and let's see if the tariff get effective in February 1st, and in June 2026, if the tariffs go up to 25%, and the probability of Bitcoin going down 80K is only 30%. So I think that what happened this week is just a shake of the geopolitical side. And this was what I wanted to discuss with you. I don't know what you think about that, but this is what I think that happened.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think narratives always follow price. Like, for some reason, the charts will reflect the action first, and then the narratives would catch up. And then this week we have the geopolitics, Greenland or Denmark or whatsoever. But like, very interesting. Like, how did she get up? How did she get the figure of 30% probability of Bitcoin dropping below 80K?
Researching online, using AI for research, and also my tools. I have the Power Law. You know that I use the Power Law, and we have our own calculations. So probably we made some research, and also we have our own Power Law. That is the calculation that we do. If you can see, let me put the Power Law, and I will explain. So let me check. Let me bring the Power Law and explain how does it work. Let me check the Power Law. Because for the models that we use here, we use probability. And when we calculate prices, we assign probabilities to these kind of prices. So let me show the Power Law. Let's load. I didn't have the Power Law prepared. Yes, here. Let me show the Power Law. Well, basically, the power law, what it does is it creates this trend line using all the Bitcoin data since day one, all the Bitcoin prices since day one. And the regression has an R2 of 95.95%. It means that the correlation is not strong, it's almost perfect. So when we estimate the price, we do the estimation based on the power law and also other kind of calculations that we do in the backend. And the power law, what shows in this white line is the fair price. The fair price is the price that Bitcoin would have using this rule that, I repeat, is 95% of 96% of regression of R2. And it shows the price that Bitcoin must have. And also we have the percentiles. So if you see, for example, today, January, let's say January 20, it's not calculated yet because it doesn't close. But for January 20, the fair price of Bitcoin, the price that Bitcoin would have today, is around 119,000 US dollars. And then you have the percentiles. If you see the percentile low, so the probability of a price of 55K, 55 or 56 is around 16%. The probability of a 32K price is 2.5%. On the other side, you have the biggest amounts. For example, the probability of 470,000 is also 2.5%, and the probability of 197,000 is 16.5%. In the middle, you have all the other probabilities that we have the table and we calculate with the table. So that's what that is the way that we use to calculate price. So in the future, let's say June, the fair price of Bitcoin in June, if it follows the power law, it's 134,000 US dollars. The probability of a price of 63,000 or less is 16.5%. So the probability of 80,000 or less is around 30% that we have our calculations. On the other side, the probability of a price of 500,000 is also 2.5%, and the probability of 220,000 or more is also 16.5%. Do you know the normal, I don't know how to say in English, but the Gauss function?
The say it again?
The Gauss, let me see this. Gauss, yes, the normal distribution. Have you ever heard about that?
That chart?
No, the normal distribution. The normal distribution is it's like a bell. The Gauss,
Yeah,
the Gauss bell. So what we do is we pick up all the prices. They are adjusted with the power law. They are calculated with the power law, and we assign probabilities to each price following the Gauss function. So that's why we say that the probability of 80,000 or less is less than 30%. I don't know if it answers your question.
Very interesting. Well, I would say like so far, my trading strategy, I believe my own charts, first of all, loud and clear. And I know Bitcoin, this is still a bear market. Like for my calculation, I think it's gonna last till Q3. But like my most profitable trade, I wouldn't say is shorting Bitcoin. Like, we have different opinions about where Bitcoin is heading to, but like even even if I do think this is a bear market, or maybe we had to 60 something K, like the profit that if I'm shorting the market, like the profit I managed to catch is not going to be as significant as shorting Bitcoin. Like if we, like for example, if I put a short right now, and let's say Bitcoin is 90K and let's close at 60K, this is only going to be a 33% profit. Like let's say if Bitcoin will drop to 60K, that's the assumption that I have. Like even though if we drop to 60K, I don't think it's going to be quick. It's going to be a few months time kind of thing. So I think knowing this, I would use the strategy to short altcoins. And so far, I have to say it's doing really well, not gonna lie. Like it's much easier to find that coins that are overvalued. And what we know so far is the bear market in crypto, it tends to suck up the liquidity from altcoins to Bitcoin. Like we are only talking about the digital assets kind of world. Like I'm not talking about traditional finance like stocks or metals like gold and silver. Like only from a digital assets perspective, that seems to be the case. So right now, I'm still sticking to my own trading strategy. And in fact, like yesterday or the day before, I made a tweet. I can't remember, like maybe the day before, because like I remember I opened a bunch of short positions on altcoins, like different AI agents that I'm really bearish. So I opened these short positions, and what I did is that I set up the take profit side. I didn't put any leverage, so I do not advise anyone to do any leverage at all. So no leverage. But what I did is that I was just hedging a little bit because like I still have my um positive position, like being I'm still holding some of the altcoins, but I want to hedge a little bit for risk management. So that's what I did. And when I woke up 2 days ago or yesterday, I think 2 days ago. So when I woke up, I saw all of my short positions were gone. Like I was confused for a second. I was like, what's going on? I didn't pull any leverage at all. Like I managed my risk really well. So the first 5 minutes, I was like, wait, did I do something wrong? Because that's my first reaction. But and then I found out it was actually my TP positions, so my take profit positions were working out very well in my favor. So like even though I'm bearish, I'm not shorting Bitcoin. I'm still holding Bitcoin because I keep on mentioning you need to separate two mindset. Like okay, for Fernando, you're more a long-term investor. You have a long-term mindset, which is fine. Like I have my holding back. I'm holding Bitcoin. I'm not selling. I put it in cold storage as well. But like for trading wise, I don't feel like it's much profitable longing Bitcoin for the time being.
The point is that what I want to point and I want to tell the people when I do all my analysis is that we use there are a big difference between mathematics and TA. TA is more trying to see patterns and recognize patterns that for you can be one pattern, for another trader can be another pattern, and for another one can be another pattern. So in my opinion, TA is more like trying to, I don't know, I would not say gambling, but try to predict something watching like signals. What we do, and that's what I always, that's why I am bullish. It's not because of, I'm of course long bullish on Bitcoin, like I'm super bullish. It's because the mathematics are telling me that I have to be bullish. Because if I go to the power law again, and let me show this area. If I would be here, let's say April 24, 2021, the price of Bitcoin that day, the mathematics, not a graphic or not an indicator, the mathematics were telling me that Bitcoin was that Bitcoin should be 18,500, or let's say 19,000. The price of Bitcoin that day was 63,000. If I see the mathematics, I would say Bitcoin is overpriced. So there is probability of a correction in the short term that also that happened. It's not because a trend, it's not because an indicator, it's because of mathematics say that Bitcoin at, for example, 52K here, it's in a probability that is a very low probability to be there. So for sure, it needs to go down. On the other side, if I see this side of the graphic, the price of Bitcoin that day, December 17, 2022, that I remember that day because I was in Argentina and Bitcoin was at the bottom of the bear market. The Bitcoin price that day was 16,600,000. And the Power Law said me, the mathematics said me that the most real value for that day was 38,250,000. And so in that moment, I used to say, okay, yes, we are underpriced. So the price needs to go up. In how much time? This is something that I don't know because the mathematics tell me the probability. For sure, it needs to go up, but I don't know in how much time. I can calculate the probabilities using the Power Law. And that's the same. When last year, I made a live in Spanish. When the price was over here, let's say, Bitcoin was 119, and the Power Law said that Bitcoin should be 100. I used to say Bitcoin is a little bit overpriced. It means that it's going to go down? No, because if it's in the green zone between P3 and P2, this is a price that is the most probable price that can happen, but probably it's a little bit overpriced. Now, what I see here is the mathematics tell me that Bitcoin is undervalued. So the conclusion is Bitcoin needs to go up and will go up. That's the point. On the other side, I don't touch altcoins. So that's why I don't probably see the shorting. Of course, I would never short Bitcoin. Would never, ever, ever. I probably cut an arm before shorting Bitcoin. Not even if I'm here, let's say, if I'm here, that the mathematics are telling me that Bitcoin will go down, I would never short it. And what the Power Law curve tells me is that on Bitcoin, we don't have bear market or bull market. We are in a perpetual bull market from the beginning with corrections that are triggered by market sentiments, problems with liquidity, or news like today that Trump says, okay, I will add Greenland to my country, and if you don't let me pick up Greenland, I would put like a lot of tariffs. That this scares the markets. And many people, and I don't know what you think about that, in Argentina, many analysts, of course, they are leftist analysts, but they say that Trump is preparing for a war. So I don't know, how do you see that? I don't think it's so drastic, but they say like this. So all these data points say, okay, my mathematics say Bitcoin must go up, is underpriced, is in a correction triggered by Trump tweets, geopolitical tensions, and probably the problems with the liquidity that has happened.
Oh, wait, so the question is, will Trump invade Greenland, or what was the question again?
No, the question is, the leftists from my country say that Trump is getting ready for a war, a world war. What do you think about that?
For against Greenland or Iran?
No, against Iran, against their enemies. Greenland is just a tactical position that Trump needs to take because of the rare earth that are needed for AI, are needed for security, for military reasons, and they say this. I don't know. I don't think about that. I don't know what you think.
Greenland, I'm not sure if there's enough excuse for Trump to pull any military action towards Greenland. But like for Iran, let's see, like, because Venezuela, he absolutely surprised the whole world, or shocked the whole world, with his military move by capturing Maduro. But like for Iran, right now, they're very alert, like military alert. They have there's a possibility that US might attack Iran. So they are more military prepared. And Iran is such a lot larger than Venezuela. So it's not as easy, like it's not an easy target compared to Venezuela. And not to mention the whole country of Iran is covered by mountains, or like ice mountains and some extremely cold areas. So it's not like such an easy target. So like I would say the most talk about locations right now is just Iran and Greenland. Greenland, I really not sure if Donald Trump gonna do something too hostile militarily. Like maybe they're gonna bribe Greenlander with a US passport or 100K US dollars. Okay, if 100K doesn't work, what about 200K? What about 300K? And not to mention Greenland, there's only 57,000 population. So it's not like very difficult for Donald Trump to take over, not in a military aspect, but maybe bribing the Greenlander. Because like you mentioned the left and the right, there is a huge split in the whole media side, even for Greenlander. Because like if you actually watch both sides of the media inside Greenland, so local Greenlanders, like some media like to portray that Greenlanders don't want to be purchased, but there's also the other side of the media, like local Greenlander, because like the saturation in Greenland is such a cold environment. So local Greenland is actually really depressed. That's why the the rate of alcoholic is one of the highest among the whole world, among the whole countries. So like Greenlanders, they're not very happy. Economically, they're not doing so well. So like what I have seen for the other side of the media is that I saw local Greenlanders was welcoming the US with open arms and trying to welcome them at the airport when some American people went over to Greenland. So this is like the other side. And like for each Greenlander having at least 100K in the bank account, and there's a chance of escaping such a cold environment and having a way out, like there's always both sides of the story. Like it depends how you trust like the media, but like it's always good to look at both sides, I would say.
Yeah, but yeah, on the other side, I don't know what can happen with Greenland because, of course, Trump can go and say, "We give you 100K per person," but on the other side, Greenland belongs to Denmark, so probably Denmark can take actions. Europe is telling Trump, "You cannot take Greenland." So I think that all these tensions, these macro tensions, these geopolitical tensions, are the ones that are moving the markets, are bringing like some kind of fear that not what Trump can do to Greenland, but what can happen after that. So, and also Trump triggering we will put tariff to this, to that, to whatever. So I think that these things are the ones who are moving the price, and we are in a super cycle. That's what I say. That's my point. And again, we back it with the mathematics of the power law and thing. By the way, it falls the stuff below me. I need to fix them. So, anyways, I'm okay, and the studio is okay. So, but yeah, I think that the problem of the price of Bitcoin dropping is nothing related to so-called bear market, that I think we are not in a bear market, is because these tensions that make some corrections on the price. I think that Bitcoin price must go up. No financial advice, by the way. And again, I think that we will see Bitcoin back to 100 quite soon. Of course, if things go normal, if Trump starts a war, I don't know what can happen, but in normal terms, Bitcoin should go up. Bitcoin should reach 100K soon, and probably a new all-time high in this year, because again, it's what math says.
Yeah, I mean, I'm long-term bullish on Bitcoin, but let's see short-term who's right then.
I think I think that the math don't lie. So I wanted to talk a little bit about AI, but I think that we talk. I think that we extend discussing this topic, and I have to fix this stuff. And again, I think that's the thing. I have the point again. I'm super bullish. That's my only thing. And we back with the power law. What we do here is we pick up data and we assign probabilities. And of course, probabilities can fail because, of course, it's like sometimes the 100 to 1 horse wins the race, but we are mathematical guys, so that's the point.
Okay, sounds good.
And get rid of the altcoins.
Huh?
Get rid of the altcoins. Go
That's why I'm
100%
shorting them.
Bitcoin. Go 100% Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's why I'm shorting them.
So excellent. So, anyways, Gemmy, thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Despite we have different views on the Bitcoin outcome on this year, but again, it's always a pleasure. I thank you for being here, and see you next week.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And again, for our audience, how's your social media?
Yeah, so my Twitter is gemdreamcrypto_io. My YouTube channel is gemdreamcrypto. And yes, that's it, I think.
Okay, are you not streaming on Rumble, right? I remember in the past you used to stream on Rumble.
Yeah, I tried to, but like it's not working on I don't know, some technical issues. So I'm only streaming on YouTube at the moment.
Okay. So see you next week, Gemmy. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And to everyone who is on the other side, thank you for being here. If you like the episode, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, because doing so, you help us on our task of painting the world orange. Share this episode with the people you love. Share this episode with the people you hate, because we must reach 8 billion people and give them the orange pill. See you in the next episode of our podcast. Stay humble, stack sats, and remember, we are all Satoshi.